It will tell you you are 1 and you are 2. You can choose. Oh, Laura. It so happens I have a letter for you. But before we talk about that, mind telling me what you've been getting yourself into lately? You and your scions, I mean. I have an inkling, perhaps. Went and saved another world, as it happens. Or, I had to go and kill a whole host of sin eaters. This go edgelord Dark Knight, I had to go kill a whole host of sin eaters, because either are the truth, but... Come again? Reflections of the Source? Parallel worlds? Sin eaters? What in the seven hells are you on about? Something tells me this is only going to make any kind of sense if you walk me through it from the beginning, step by step. Time to have a mug. Or 3. Right then. So to sum up, you are swept up into yet another realm. You were swept up into yet another realm-shaking conflict, were you? Of course you were. You've an insatiable hunger for it, don't you? And even when you bite off more than you can chew, you refuse to let go. What? As if you didn't know. Hells, from the moment I laid eyes on you, I suspected you were a particular blend of impulsive and stubborn. It takes a special kind of bastard to become a Dark Knight, much less a warrior of light, don't you think? You've traveled into a doomed world and pledged your sword to a feudal cause. You fought and you fought and you fought. And in the end, you won the day. You fought and you fought and you fought. Kinda reminds me of Ardbert when we are kinda going up against them. Right before their final plea to Menphilia. Though I know it wasn't without loss, without sacrifice. Victories like that are always bought with blood. But you and your comrades paid that price all the same. That faraway land and her people live on because you were willing to fight to the bitter end. Because you were too stubborn to die. Because of love, I'm sure. Well, don't ask me where that came from. Being grim and dark will only get you so far, don't you remember? It's like the Mughals. Or Sir Rampans himself said, the flame in the abyss, the love you bear for the ones you hold most dear, that is the source of true strength. Laura could have never made it this far if her heart wasn't filled to the brim with love. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love the reactions our Warrior of Light gets. I love them. This is a roundabout way of asking me about my heart's desires. Yes, I love her reaction. I love her smug ass face. Let's not say we did, huh? I'm sure that thank-grade fellow you mentioned would provide a far more meaningful and interesting response. Having to look after the reincarnation of his surrogate daughter is certainly... Oh, I suppose on some level I can relate. What? I've not once thought of you as my father. Oh dear. Well, no! I mean, we're not even of the same race, so of course no one would ever look at us and assume. What? If you want to put a label on it, then what would you prefer? Master and disciple? Man servant and noblewoman? Sid. How about chocobos, arson, whatever you damn well like? Gods, you can be daft sometimes. This is taking a turn, isn't it? Hey! Hey! What did I tell you about calling me that? Children, am I right? Best we give her a moment to cool her head. For now, let's talk about that letter I mentioned earlier. It's addressed to you, but who penned it I cannot say. It was delivered to me by a young woman of the Broom. Looney, I think her name was? She said she'd seen us with you out and about in Ishgard before, and reckoned that if she left it with us, you'd eventually be around to pick it up. Before you ask, no, I have not taken a peek, so its contents remain a complete and utter mystery to me. As for the sender, you'll have to pester Looney at the Holy Stables if you want to know more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an angry girl to mollify. So read the unsigned letter. Within the sealed envelope is a paper, which you unfold to find a message written in a strangely familiar scrawl. Lara Farron, you'll forgive me for the sudden correspondence and the secrecy. You helped me in a way, once upon a time. It's past time I said as much, and so here we are. Feels like a lifetime ago, come to think on it. You've been through quite a lot since then, accomplished incredible things. I'd like to think that, in some way, I was a part of your journey. Far from the best, no doubt. But for me and my own journey, I think it's safe to say that you've been... well, there's no suitable words to describe it, really. I've done things, made decisions. Looking back, I can't help but feel more than a little foolish. But such is life, and we have to seize what few opportunities we have for closure, even if it is through the written word and not face to face. So wherever you are, I hope you're happy. Still fighting, still adventuring, still doing what you love. Be well. The letter bears no signature or any obvious clues as to the author's identity. Perhaps Looney could shed light on this mystery. Frey, is that you? She's in the Broom, right? Of the Holy Stables. Down. It's you! It's really you! Laura Farron, my hero! Honestly, I never thought I'd get to see you again, much less speak with you! Oh, I'm sorry. You probably don't remember me at all, do you? I'm not surprised. On the day's work, I suppose, saving silly little fools like me. Wish I could remember. It was so long ago when you rescued me from those temple knights who were trying to take me away from my grandmother. Oh! I remember! Still remember like it was yesterday, though. You swinging that great big sword of yours, bellowing all kinds of terrible threats and sending them running. I'm sure some might say you overdid it, but thanks to you, my grandmother and I never heard from that lot again. And ever since Sir Amaric and his allies came into power, we've had a lot less of that trouble all over. But, let me guess, you didn't come all this way just to see me, did you? A letter, huh? Thought so. Wasn't me who wrote it, I can tell you that much. I got it from a knight I befriended after tending to his chocobo a couple of times. Sir Patronade. He said it was to be delivered to the hero of the Scions, a peerless warrior with 1,000 victories to her name. After he described your features in detail, it all fell into place, and since I was certain you'd eventually pay a visit to your friends, I offered to take it to them. Anyway, he's the one you need to talk to if you're after the sender. Maybe check the congregation? I mean, that's where knights congregate, I presume? Congregation of their knights most heavenly. Oh. Alright. Close enough. Oh, there's an upstairs, that's right. How may I be of service to you, Mistress Farron? A letter. Oh, what a relief it is to see that it arrived unmolested. It was entrusted to me by Orella of Rogler's Reach. After the battle at the Gimlet Dark, I spent a few nights there, you see. I can only assume that whoever sent it to the Reach had heard tell of the battle between you and Lord Xenos, and how you had been brought to the Barber. However, by the time it arrived, you had long since been spirited away to Ishgard. Had Looney not recognized you from my stories, I do not know how I might have seen it to your hand. If you seek the author, mayhap you should pay a visit to the Reach? I know only what I told you, but surely Orella can tell you more. May the Fury watch and keep over you, friend. Oh. Guess we're traveling. Rogler's Reach, right? Wait, isn't she the, lady at the apothecary that kind of helped nurse, Y'shtola back to health? I think so. Yep, that is her. Pleasure to see you. Well, that's that long-haired boy of yours again? This is about the leather, is it? It came from a shipment of supplies from Little Alamigo, as I recall. I can only presume the sender was hoping that Commander Hex would see it to you personally, but I'm not surprised it escaped her notice given the chaos at Gimlet Dark and after. Found its way into my medical supplies, and as you well know, I decided to let that Ishgardian knight take charge of its delivery. In any event, I advise you to continue your search in Little Alamigo, and if anyone there knows aught of the letter's author, it would be Gundobald. Oh, Gundobald! Alright. We're world hopping for this letter, aren't we? So, Southern Thanalan, Little Alamigo. Well met, Laura. I was not expecting a visit. What brings you to Southern Thanalan this evening? The letter, you say? And you seek the author? Yes. If you read it, then you know their heart. What you meant to them, how you changed their life for the better. It is a feeling I understand all too well, which is why I agreed to send this letter with the supplies for Routger's reach. Yet you never were one to let a mystery remain unsolved, were you? You seek answers, closure. I will not deny you this. At the Red Rooster Stead in Lower Lenosha, you will find a man named Godherd. Speak with him. Perhaps then you will find a measure of peace. And I'm gonna go globe-trotting yet one more time, it looks like. Let's see, Lower Lenosha. I have a feeling this is gonna be up coast from the Aetheryte, so maybe it should have teleported to Lominsa first? Yeah. Cedarwood. Oh well. What's a little ride? Oh, this matches my armor well. Oh, I don't forget what they're called, but... Okay, let me find my way through here. So nice to be globe-trotting back through the original lands of Eorzea. Or maybe it ain't, but... Sorry, everybody. I know I'm a bit of a... I don't know how to say it, I just know I'm off. gods, it's you! But why? Why are you here? You really don't remember any of it? The Kakaran bandits? A certain merchant who may have overstepped his bounds just a trifle? You are a right bloody mess when you return to the dry docks with my wares, and I do mean bloody. I say, isn't that what I'm telling you ringing a bell? Really? Not even the part where I refused to thank you and demanded that you pay me restitution for the property you yourself returned to me? Well, seeing as I've already confessed it, I may as well reiterate. It was me. That was just the beginning of my bad luck, as it happens. A string of bad decisions left me in debt to some very unforgiving fellows, and before I knew it, they had taken damn near everything I owned. I was friendless, penniless, hopeless, and let me tell you, running afoul of the Warrior of Light had not done me any favors either. There was a time when I couldn't help but blame you for all my misfortune. And then one day, when I was rummaging through my meager possessions, I had an epiphany. I stumbled upon a package from that shipment you recovered from me that ill-fated day. Flower bulbs. Stained with Kakaran blood, but viable for cultivation. Still brimming with the potential to grow and thrive. Before I knew it, I was cradling the package to my breast, sobbing and moaning like a mad fool. Mad fool. Don't know where that came from. For a fool is exactly what I had been. I had been offered a kindness without let or lien, and instead of thanking this generous hero who... I had spat in her face. So I left that life behind, save for the bulbs I brought with me here. I apprenticed myself to the botanist and resolved to start anew. And wouldn't you know it, the stubborn little fiends finally bloomed for me. I suppose it's only fitting that you'd show up again that very day. I have 1,000 regrets, but none greater than how I spoke to you. I say this not to beg your forgiveness, but to tell you how you've changed me for the better, and to thank you for the opportunity. Aww. I do have one request, if you are amenable to it. I pray you accept a flower, one of the precious few that has bloomed. A token of my heartfelt appreciation for my personal savior. Admittedly, this particular breed is perhaps best suited for funerals and farewells, but if you'd rather not keep it for yourself, perhaps there is someone else who might welcome it? Frey! It's Frey! Someone else indeed. Wait, did we actually just... Did we actually just speak there? Is this like the second time I know of that we have spoken? Because that seems like that came from our mouth. With the chat mode and say, enter Frey to call out to your comrade and conquer the Central Highlands. Oh, it's gonna be heavy again, isn't it? I am they. We are one. Points to anybody who actually gets that reference. Fortunately for you, Omega. Rock of Ages. Ay, ay, ay. Simple things amuse simple minds. So I'm running commands together. Shoot. I'm outsmarting myself. Yet there's no response. Yet there can be no answer but this, can there? So let us wait for a time, you and I, in the cold and in the snow, in the dark. Oh man. So picturesque. There it blows. Fateful place there. For Frey and I. Clever, clever, clever. Or are we just playing it by ear? No matter. There's Frey! There we are! Our dark side. I wanted this once. More than anything, a chance to speak and be heard. But neither of us needs it anymore, and if we were to look deep within ourselves, we would realize that we never did. Oh, there we are. We are the stories we tell ourselves. The brave hero, the tortured soul, the altruist, the pragmatist. They will tell you who they see, but you and you alone know who you are. Oh, goodness. For I speak only for myself. If you find comfort in my words, they are yours for the taking, but that is your choice. Now and ever after, as it has always been. Now comes your part, to cloak yourself in the fiction, to breathe life into the dead, to give voice to the voiceless. As we did together that day, when you gave us our answer. Was it ever mine? Oh, goodness gracious. Shadowbringers! Shadowbringers! Ah. Oh, it was so nice to see Frey again. Oh, Sid. Welcome back, Laura. As you can see, Riel and I are getting along swimmingly, so you needn't worry about us in the slightest. Not one bit. Yeah, there's more to it than that, is there? So, what did that mysterious and signed letter? Did your grand search for answers lead you to anywhere interesting? An old acquaintance. Don't know what to say, honestly. Both valid. That's so. Well, glad to hear it, I suppose. Now I want to know what the hell he would have said had I answered differently. Saved any more parallel worlds lately? I jest. Still, you can't blame a man for viewing such incredible claims with a measure of skepticism, can you? I guess not. Stop calling a Sid a chocobo's arse when he stops thinking of me as a stupid little girl. God, you'd think after everything we've been through he'd give me a little more credit. It's because I'm so bloody short. I'm due for a growth spurt, but I don't know if I'll ever be as tall as he is. Oh, that was so good. Again, y'all who've made Shadowbringers, I'm sure Natsuko Ishikawa had a hand in this edition as well, considering she was the author of the Dark Knight storyline. Take a bow. Y'all are awesome.